What's up, everybody? This is Domingo Hero Network, and today's Yu-Gi-Oh video I'm going to do, guys, I am going to be doing the deck profile, and the deck profile I'm going to be doing in this video is going to be my Brotherhood of the Fire Fist deck profile. Yes, I love Brotherhood of the Fire Fist. It's one of my favorite decks. I love this deck, based on the Beast Warrior types, the fire attributes, and also, they even got extra deck monsters, including XC, Synchros, Links, and Fusions. So this deck, and of course, not only based on Fire Fist, but also focus on more on the fire formation spells and trap cards. So I'm going to show you guys the main deck and the extra deck, show you, the number ratio of the cards and the card choices that I do as well. So without further ado, let's get this deck profile started. So here we go. We're going to start off with the main deck first. And in the main deck, we're going to do monsters. So for the monsters, I do play 3 copies of the Brotherhood of the Fire Fist Panda, and of course 3 copies of the Brotherhood of the Fire Fist Elephant. These cards are very hard to find, but I was lucky enough to get these cards because they were very difficult to find. So Panda is really good. Panda has an effect where, if you activate a fire formation spell trap card, except during the damage, special summon this card from your hand. Then you can special summon 1 Fire Fist monster from your graveyard, except for Panda. You can also you cannot special summon monster for the rest of the turn except for Fire Fist monsters. If a Fire Fist monsters you control would be destroyed by an opponent's card effect, you could send 1 fire formation spell trap card you control to the graveyard instead. And of course, you can only use Panda's effect once, each of the effect of Panda once per turn. So it's pretty good. Panda's pretty good. And then you got Elephant. Elephant's another good card as well. If this card is normal special summon, you could send 1 Fire Fist formation spell and trap card you control to the graveyard, special summon 1 Fire Fist monster from your hand, except for Elephant. You could target 1 Fire Fist spell / trap card in the graveyard, shuffle into the deck. Then you can add 1 level 5 or higher Fire Fist monster for your deck to your hand. You can only use each effect of Elephant once per turn. So it's pretty good since Panda is level 5. There's also an Elan, which is a level 6 monster that you could search using the effect of Elephant, so that's actually pretty good as well. And of course, you always got to play 3 Pandas and 3 Elephants because it's better at 3, in my opinion. So they're both really good. And the other and speaking of 3, other cards you could play as 3. We got 3 copies of Brotherhood of the Fire Fist Dragon, and 3 copies of Brotherhood of the Fire Fist Raven. So these are other cards you could play at 3 as well. Dragon's pretty good because what it does, once per turn, if you activate a fire formation spell trap card, except during the damage deck, you can set 1 fire formation trap directly from your deck. Once per turn, you can send 2 fire formation spell trap cards you control to the graveyard, then target 1 fire formation monster in the graveyard and special summon it, except for Dragon. So it's a monster born, for Fire Fist. And then you got Raven. Raven's pretty good as well. If this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can set 1 fire formation spell card directly from your deck. Fire formation spells and track you control can have destroyed by the opponent's card effect. So it's pretty good. You're mostly going to use this card for for sending in, and then you search for the fire formation spell. If you go for, let's say, link plays or synchro plays, so, and then you directly send a fire fist spell directly to your deck. So it's pretty good. Alright, so the next Fire Fist monsters I play, I play 2 copies of Brotherhood of the Fire Fist Spirit. Pretty good tuner monster. And I also play 2 copies of the Brotherhood of the Fire Fist Rooster. Another good card. So Spirit is a level 3 tuner monster as well. It cannot be used for synchro material except for synchro material for Beast Warrior monsters. When this card is normal summon, you can target a level 3 fire monster with 200 or less defense in your graveyard, special summon and target in the face up in defense position. And if you do, monsters you control cannot attack for the rest of this turn except for Beast Warrior monsters. And of course, you can use the effect of Spirit once per turn. So it's pretty good. Like if you go for your rank 3 XC monster, or your link plays, or even synchro plays for your level 6 synchro play monsters. And of course, it had to be Beast Warrior, of course. And then you got Rooster. Rooster's pretty good at 2 as well. When this card is special summoned by the effect of a Fire Fist monster, you can add a Fire Fist monster from your deck to your hand. And of course, you can use that effect once per turn. And then the other effect says once per send 1 face-up Fire Formation spell and trap you control the graveyard to set 1 Fire Formation spell / trap directly from your deck. So it's pretty good because if this card is in the graveyard, you could normal summon your Spirit, special summon the Rooster, and then you get Rooster's effect to search for the Fire Fist monster and stuff like that. So it's really, really good. And Rooster's level 3, and you can go Synchro summoning for a level 6 Beast Warrior monster, which is pretty good. And of course, the 1-ups that I do play just to round off the Fire Fist monsters. 1 copy of Brotherhood of the Fire Fist Buffalo. 1 copy of the Brotherhood of Fire Fist Gorilla. 1 copy of the Brotherhood of the Fire Fist Bear. 1 copy of the Brotherhood of the Fire Fist Leopard. And the ritual monster I play is 1 copy of the Brotherhood of the Fire Fist Elan. So these are the 1-ups I play. Of course, Buffalo is pretty good. You know, if it's in a graveyard, you just send a total of 2 Fire Fist or Fire Formation cards from your hand or on the field into the graveyard. Then special summon this card from the graveyard. You get that effect once per turn. Gorilla has the effect. You know, you can just you know, if it destroys opponent monster battle, you could just set 1 Fire Formation spell card directly in your deck. And also the other effect, you could send 1 Fire Formation spell tracker from your you control to the graveyard and then target a spell track card on the field and destroy that target, which is pretty good. And Bear has like the similar effect, but it says, you know, you could send 1 Fire Formation spell track you control the graveyard to target 1 monster in the field, destroy. It's pretty good. And then you got Leopard, which, you know, during your main phase, if this was normal special summon this turn, you contribute 1 Fire Fist monster, set 1 Fire Formation spell track card directly from your deck, and of course you get that effect once per turn. So it's pretty cool. And of course you got Elan, which is the ritual monster. And of course it has to be ritual summon with Fire Formation Domi, which we'll get to that. You can discard 1 monster, set 1 Fire Formation spell track directly from your deck or graveyard. And when your opponent activates a monster effect, quick effect, you can send 1 Face of Fire Fist or Fire Formation card you control to the graveyard, except for Elan, negate that effect. So, and of course, you get that effect once per turn. So it's like a effect Veiler, but for Brotherhood of Fire Fist. So they're all pretty good 1-ups in my opinion. They're all pretty good. And for the non-Brotherhood of the Fire Fist monsters that we do play, 2 copies of Coach Soldier Wolfbark and the 3 copies of the Red Resonator to round out the monsters. Coach Soldier Wolfbark is pretty good because, you know, you can target a level 4 Fire Beast Warrior monsters in your graveyard special summon to face up defense edition. Effect is negated, you get that effect once per turn. Red Resonator, when it's normal summon, you can special summon 1 level 4 lower monster from your hand. When this card is special summon, you can target 1 face-up monster on the field. It gain life points equal to its attack. Of course, you use that effect once per turn. So it's pretty good, you know, gain the life points. And it helps you go for your synchro plays a little bit faster because you play a little bit more with the level 4s. Yeah, so that's pretty good. And you can even go link plays as well. That's it for the monsters. Now we're going to move on to the spells. So the first spell I'm going to play is the field spell. 3 copies of Fire Fortress of top Electric Peck. So Fire Fortress is pretty good. This is the field spell you need to play. And it does treat as a Fire Formation card. Each time a Fire Fist monster or normal special summon, place a Fire Fist counter onto this card. And you can activate, and once per turn you can remove the Fire Fist counters from your field to activate one of these effects. If it's 2 Fire Fist counter remove, if a Beast Warrior monster attacks this turn, your opponent cannot activate cards or effect until the end of the damage step. If it's 6 Fire Fist counters, you can add a 1 Beast Warrior monster from your deck to your hand. If it's 10 of those Fire Fist counters, if it's 10, you can special summon 1 Beast Warrior monster from your deck or extra deck but ignoring summoning condition. That's pretty good. And we do play 1 fusion monster that's a Beast Warrior that you can summon it and ignore the summoning condition, like Hercules, for example. So it's a really good field spell. You always got to play this card at 3 though, because it's very important. Now for the Fire Formation spell cards, I do play 3 copies of Fire Formation Tenki, 3 copies of Fire Formation Tensu, 2 copies of Fire Formation Guritu. I also play the 1 copy of Fire Formation Yoko, 1 copy of the Fire Formation Domi, and the 1 copy of the Fire Formation Inja. So these are the Fire Formation spell cards you play. We all know what Tenki does. You know, search for a level 4 lower Beast Warrior monster for your deck to your hand. And of course, Tensu is the one that gives you like an extra normal summon during your main phase. And of course, the other ones you got Gorikuru. That's the one where you could target a spell and track card your opponent control, and your opponent cannot activate that target card in response to this card's activation while this card is face up on the field. The set card cannot be activated. Then you got Yoko. Yoko, once you activate this, you target a face-up monster. Your opponent controls discard 1 Beast Warrior monster from your hand, and if you do, destroy that card. And then you got Dongme and Engage. Of course, Dongme is the card you need to ritual summon your Elan, while Engage helps you go ritual summon for your fusion monster, which is Sean. And of course, all the Fire Formation spell cards, except for Domi and Enji, has the effect where all the Beast Warrior monsters gains like 100 attack points because they're all continuous spell cards. So yeah, so those Fire Formation cards, except for Domi and Enji, has that effect to give the extra 100 attack points to your Beast Warrior monsters. All right, for the other spell cards I played to run off, we got 1 copy of Terraforming, search for your Fire Fortress field spell. 1 copy of Resonator card, search for your Red Resonator, and then 1 copy of Monster Reborn. Because it's Monster Reborn and stuff like that, so it's pretty good. So that's it for the spells. And for the traps, I only play 2, and that's 2 copies of the Ultimate Fire Formation Sinto. It's a very good counter trap for Fire Fist. It can only be activated if you control a Fire Formation spell trap card and a Fire Fist monster. And when a spell trap card is activated, you can negate the evacuation and destroy that card, and you can only activate this card once per turn. So it's a pretty good counter trap. It's a very good counter trap. But to activate this, you got to make sure you have a Fire Fist monster and a Fire Formation spell trap card on your field to use it. That's it for the main deck. Now for the extra deck, I do play 2 copies of the Brotherhood of the Fire Fist Tiger King. I'm going to start off with the XCs. 2 copies of the Brotherhood of the Fire Fist Carnival. 1 copy of the Brotherhood of the Fire Fist Lion Emperor. So these are the XCs of this deck. Tiger King, we all know what it does. You know, search for Fire Formation spell card when it's like XC summon and stuff. It also has like the effect to negate all face-up effect monster field except for Beast Wars, so it's pretty good. Carnival is a really good recycling card because you detach 2, and then you can target 2 your Fire Fist or your Fire Formation cards in your graveyard or your side of the field, and then target 2 cards in your opponent's graveyard or their side of the field, and shuffle those targets into the deck, and you get that effect once per turn. Lion Emperor is pretty good as well. It's a rank 3/1. You know, detach, and then you target a fire monster in your graveyard, add that target to your hand, but you cannot normal summon special summon that monster with the same name for the rest of this turn. But it's still a pretty good card to play. So those are the those are the XCs. Now we're gonna move on to the Synchros. And so I only played 3, and I played 2 copies of Brotherhood of the Fire Fist Horse Prince, and the 1 copy of Velkin the Defiant. Of course, Defiant is a Beast Warrior Synchro monster, and they're all level 6. Horse Prince is pretty good because, you know, if it's synchro, you know, when it's synchro summon, after you can special summon a level 3 fire monster from your deck, but after you synchro summon this card, you cannot special summon a level 5 or higher monster the rest of this turn. But that's okay though, because once you use that effect, you can either go XCs or you can go Links, so it's still pretty good. Velkin Defiant is a pretty good Beast Warrior Synchro. What it does, like if this card is single summoning, target 1 face-up card you control and 1 face-up card your opponent control, return those targets to the hand. But for the rest of the turn, you cannot activate cards or effects of the cards with the same name as those return cards to the hand by this effect. So you can get that effect once per turn as well. So it's pretty good Synchros. Now for the fusions, I only play 2. 1 copy of the Brotherhood of Fire Fist Swan, and the 1 copy of Gladiator Beast Hercuidos. Now Swan is the Fire Fist fusion monster. If it's special summon, you can inflict 200 damage to your opponent for each Fire Formation spell / track card you control. During the battle phase quick effect, you can send 1 Fire Fist Formation spell track card you control to the graveyard, then target 1 card your opponent control and destroy it. You get that effect on Swan once per turn. So it's pretty good. And then you got Hercuidos. Now the reason why we play Hercuidos is because of the field spell Fire Formation. So once you get those 10 Fire Fist counter, then you can special summon the Hercuidos. Hercuidos is really good, and then you can ignore summoning condition, because what it does, it can negate a spell and track card when it's activated during either player's turn. You have when they activated it, you could discard 1 card and then negate the evacuation and destroy it. So that's pretty cool. So it's pretty good to negate an opponent's spell and trap. When they activate it, then you discard a card and then do it. So that's it for the fusion. Now for the links, I play 2 copies of the Brotherhood of the Fire Fist Eagle, 1 copy of the Brotherhood of the Fire Fist Peacock, 1 copy of Dual Little Chimera, and the 1 copy of the Solomon Gray Amaraj to round off the extra deck. Of course, Eagle is pretty good. You know, you can only special summon it once per turn. You can activate Fire Fist monsters effects without sending Fire Fist or Fire Formation cards from your hand to the field to the graveyard. You can target 1 Fire Formation spell track card you control or in the graveyard, and return it to the hand, and send 1 Fire Formation monster from your deck. You get that effect once per turn. So Eagle's pretty good at 2. Then you play 1 Peacock. I think Peacock at 1 is fine. What it does is, when this card points to a Fire Fist monster, your opponent's monster cannot target that card for an attack. Target this card for attacks. When this card declare an attack, you can send 1 Fire Formation spell tracker you control the graveyard, and then target 1 monster your opponent control. Place that opponent's monster into a zone this card points to, and take control of it to the end phase. But it cannot declare an attack its turn, so you get that effect once per turn. So Peacock is like a mind control, so it does help at times. Dual Little Chimera is pretty good since all the Fire Fist monsters are fire attributes. They all gain like 500 attack and defense. Solomon Gray Amaraj is good because most of your monsters are 1,000 or less attack when you normal summon them. You know, and we all know what Amaraj does. You know, tribute this card, target a monster you control, it cannot be destroyed by card effects. So that's pretty good. It does protect your monster from being destroyed by opponent's card effects, so it's pretty good. Alright guys, so that's going to be it for this video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed my Brotherhood of the Fire Fist deck profile. So I love this deck so much. It's really fun ever since they first came out, and I really enjoy playing this deck. So that's going to be it for this video, guys. So don't forget to like this video, share, subscribe, post your comments in the comment section below. Tell me what you think about my Brotherhood the Fire Fist deck profile. That's going to be it for this video, guys. So this is Domingo Hero Network. All I can say is take care. Have a good day. Goodbye, one. Domingo Hero Network is signing out. Peace.